What's up, y'all? This your girl Kiki Palmer 2. So I'm finally back from part 3 of my spiritual journey. So like I mentioned in part 2, how I had started to sell hair, right? So I was making so much money and stuff like that. Like I said, I couldn't believe how much money I was making. Like it was like an overflow in my life. God had really like elevated me to new heights. So I lost all my friends, y'all. I'm talking about not some of them. I lost all my friends, and it was like, what the world? But that what comes with it. Like people who's around you in the midst of God elevating you, they cannot go where God is taking you. So it's not easy, but it still would be worth it because who want to help people like close to them, like leveling up when they don't have good intentions for you? No way. God know your heart. He know you're gonna share your blessing with these people. But anyway, so me in the mix making all this money, me and my auntie Kay, this is my favorite person in the world. She's like heaven sent. I love this lady from the bottom of my heart, right? So I used to go up to my auntie daycare all the time. She owned the daycare. I used to go up there and kick it with her and stuff and ride with her to drop the kids off and all that, right? So my auntie was seeing how many people was always calling my phone like who wanted to buy hair. And so at this time, I was meeting people out to sell the hair to them, right? So it was like I was barely able to really kick it how we wanted to kick it with each other, right? So my auntie was like, girl, you always coming up here and gotta leave in 5 minutes. So I used to be like, well, auntie, I gotta make a play. I gotta make a serve. This is how I used to talk, y'all. I swear I was the adult girl or something, but I'm really moving this hair, right? So I was like, I gotta play, auntie. So one day my auntie called me and she was like, girl, what you doing? See, this the part where God placed people in your life, who see you and who's gonna uplift you. These your good people right here. So my auntie was like, what you doing? Like, you ain't finna keep meeting people out here. It's dangerous out here. We gonna go up here to this place and get you a shop. I was like, I ain't ready for that, auntie. She was like, yes, you is, girl. Do you see how many people be calling you? So it was like, I was scared. I didn't know. So my auntie Kay, she the one who pushed me to open up a shop, right? So this a different level God was putting me on, was placing me in or whatever. So, but my auntie had to push me to do it. So the next day we go up to the place and we talk to the people and stuff like that. And they were telling me like how much the deposit will be and how long the lease. So boom, after that, right? I was like, my auntie looked at me, she like, you ready? I was like, I ain't got no choice because you ain't gonna let me do otherwise, right? So I had to go get a money order, I think, to pay the deposit. I paid the deposit. I ended up getting my keys. So like I'm like excited. And I'm like, oh my God, like, yeah, like I done got me a shop. Like I don't know how to feel right now. I just really feel so blessed, right? So boom. Me and my auntie put together, me and my auntie and her daughter, my cousin Didi. So we put my little grand opening together and stuff like that. So first we went in the shop. Me, my auntie, and my cousin Didi, we did everything together, like painted, really got it together, had it looking real cute, classy, and jazzy with a little spice of sass, you hear me? So, yeah, we got everything together. I had a little grand opening stuff, and, and it was up from there. So, I was paying bills. I was paying my bills up there at the shop. I was selling my hair. You remember y'all, I got prophesized, right? Y'all got to watch the other ones to understand what's going on. So I got prophesized, right, that I was going to be selling more than her. Don't forget that, right? So I wasn't just selling her no more, y'all. I was selling hair. I was selling like fanny packs. I was selling MAC lipstick. I was selling Ugg boots. I was selling clothes. Like, you name it. Whatever can go. Oh, don't forget the perfume, the cologne. I was selling so much different stuff, y'all. Like, God had really, like, put so many different resources in my life. It was just, like, amazing, like, what he would do. We just had to take that stand and, like, really be submissive and live in the spirit and let him, like, guide us. You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't want from dancing, trying to work at a 9 to 5, and look what he had for me. Like, what if I would have settled, y'all? I would never got to that. But okay, so boom, I started doing good. I'm in the shop. people come out, folks would come and support me just because they wanted to see my shop. You hear me? Like when God got his hand on something and blessing something, you got to know he gonna put it on other people's heart to come and shop with you and mess with you. You hear me? Because you on his team. So boom. In the midst of all this, right? The devil, you got to know the devil always gonna intertwine and intervene in what's going on with God. He always got to come in and mess with you, right? So this the part where you're supposed to be strong and you got to see and hear and know what's going on, right? So boom, I'm doing good in my life. I end up meeting this guy, right, y'all? We was cool, we was kicking in and stuff like that, but the whole time I didn't even know that he was jealous of me, y'all. He was jealous of me. The whole time he was talking to his friend. I always on the phone with his friend talking about how much money I made. He was mad because I was making more money than him and stuff like that. And then his friend didn't like me because his friend knew I was a good person. He knew who he was dealing with, so he jealous too. You know, like surrounded by enemies, sleeping with the enemy. So he used to try to get him not to deal with me the whole time because he knew I was gonna try to help him and change him because of the route. Like the road he was headed down. I was trying to get him up out of there, right? But it was like a pull. It was like dealing with an angel and the devil, you know. And I was trying to get him on his right path, and his so-called friend was like still trying to keep him, you know, on that same path that they've been on, right? So, like I said, I was dealing with him, and the whole time he was against me, y'all. This man would like have somebody break in my house and make it seem like it was like a magical break-in, you know. But the whole time, he had everything to do with it. So I was like, why they didn't steal none of my stuff? They didn't take my hair. They didn't take my computer. They didn't take nothing. You know, like, that didn't make sense to me. Because a real thief gonna take whatever valuable, right? So I ended up calling my boy cousin. Because when I didn't feel, hold on, let me go back. I didn't feel comfortable living there no more, y'all. So I was there for like a week. And then I ended up finding me a house. I ended up moving in the house, right? And so when I moved in the house, y'all told me I went in this house for not even 3 days. Why the same thing happened in the house? He knew I had a good heart. So I asked him what they took from him, how much was it. So I ended up giving him some money. I gave him like $500 or something like that because I felt like it happened, you know, in my house. I felt bad. So I gave him the money. So like I said, let me move forward. I moved in the house. The same thing happened in the house. So I'm like, wait a minute, something ain't right. So I didn't give him nothing this time, right? I called my boy cousin, and I was like, telling him what was going on. He was laughing. He was like, man, you better get that nigga out your house, da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? So boom. I dismissed the whole situation. See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. God will send people in your life, and you don't even know that he only giving you this one more chance. This your last chance to get it right. And if you don't get it right, you don't know what's going to happen to you. So you better take heed to, like, when people trying to get you right and when certain people come into your life and try to get you to see the bigger picture. You hear me? So let his soul rest in peace. Like, this man passed away. But let me go back. Before all that happened, like, I started dealing with him. Like, I come outside one day. Why all my windows in my car busted? All my tires split. That was his way of trying to get me to reach back out to him or whatever, but I wasn't going for it. But like, let me just leave that alone. But yeah, may his soul rest in peace, right? So after this man passed away, it's kind of like did something to me, you know. It's like made me look at life totally different, y'all. Like I was ready to be one with God, you know. Like I wanted to get back on my path. Like I didn't want to deal with nobody. I want to be submissive to God and just let him continue to guide me after that man passed away. You know, it really did do something to my spirit or whatever, because I know I was trying to help him. The only thing I kept thinking about, like, dang, I was here for a reason, you know, like I should have pushed harder, you know, like blaming myself and stuff like that I could have pushed harder to help him or whatever, right? So I got back on my path. I started doing good and life was great, you know. I got back to praying. I was being like, not doing no substance, working out all the time, going to church, just doing what I really supposed to do, you know, being on the right path, not being intimate, none of that or whatever, right? So when I got back on my path, y'all, like I was like abundantly blessed. I'm talking about, oh my God, if you didn't know me, you would never knew, you know, because I always been humble, you know, that's just me. I'm just a humble person, right? I always been like that, and I don't think I never changed it. But y'all, God was blessing me in so many mysterious different ways, y'all. Oh my God, like I was getting so many checks in the mail. So when I had ended up moving out the house that I moved, so I ended up moving in the townhome, right, y'all? So God had put it on my heart to go back to their house. I was like, well, I feel like I need to go back over there. So I ended up going to the house. The lady came to the door. She was like, is you Keisha? I was like, yes. She was like, girl, I've been waiting on you to come over here. I knew you was going to come. Girl, you be getting checks after checks. I was like, what? Girl, oh my God, y'all, I had so many checks that had came. All of them was outdated, right? So I had to call the place where it was coming from to like get them resent to me. So they resent me the check, but they sent it in one check, and this check it was like $6,000 and some dollars, like, and it was crazy. And then the house that I moved in, it was a lady had ended up getting some Gucci shoes, had came to the house, and she had moved, so I ended up finding her name on Facebook and found her. She ended up blessing me because I called her for the Gucci shoes. She was like, you can keep the Gucci shoes, girl, because people don't even do stuff like this. And she got cashed out me some money. So it was like, I was doing so good, y'all, like really doing great. And like, I was like overflow, like abundantly, like with an overflow blessed, like favorite, highly favored. I didn't have to do nothing. Like God was really providing and taking care of me because I was letting him guide my life, and like I was following whatever he wanted me to do, really living in the spirit, y'all. Really living in the spirit, okay. So boom, here come the devil again. Y'all will never guess what happened, right? I'm at home cooking, right? Why the police knock on my door? Boom, boom, boom. I get to the door, right? They were like, is da 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 here. I was like, yeah, that's me. And they was like, you got a warrant for your arrest? I was like, who? I ain't get in trouble. Like, so these folks like, you got a warrant? I was like, what is it about? They like, we don't know. You have to wait till you get there to get up the affidavit. I was like, let me call my auntie. Y'all know I'll tell y'all about my favorite auntie K. I was calling my auntie, baby, so quick. I was like, auntie, I'm about to go to jail. I was like, these folks talking about I got a warrant for my arrest. I don't want to go to jail. I'm talking about y'all. I was so like, oh my God, I don't even know the word for it. Like, I don't want to go to jail. Like, that's not me. Like, I couldn't do a minute in there. So these folks had to take me to jail, y'all, right? So when I get to jail, I had to wait like 12 hours, y'all. Tell me why these folks said I was in there for aggravated robbery. Who? So the affidavit basically was saying that somebody was in an Uber and they robbed the Uber lady. They put a gun to her head and took her phone, and they cashed out her money from her phone to their phone. So this how I got in. Let me tell y'all how I got in the mix of it, right? Whoever did this, I still don't know to this day, whoever did this, they used my name, my full first and last name on their tag, on their cash out, and they used my picture on their cash out. So the lady in the Uber was thinking it was me because it was my name and my picture. So she really didn't know, right? So I went through all this, y'all, and that kind of shifted me off of it because there was so much to deal with for me. I had to go get a lawyer. I went through this like 6 months, you know what I'm saying, before it got dismissed. They found out who did it. They dismissed it. They took me up to the prosecutor downtown, you know, when they were finally finna dismiss it. And they was like, man, we are so sorry we had to put you through this. We found out who did it. We gonna dismiss everything with no cause, no court cause, no nothing. You know, I really wasn't scared. It was just the fact that I had to go through this. And I know it's, you know, I didn't do anything. And first of all, I had so much proof that it wasn't me. You know, they didn't have no choice but to throw it out or whatever, right? And so, it's just crazy though. You know, it just taught me to like, stop being around people. Like, stop trying to be cool with people because folks do not mess with you because whoever did that was dirty. And I know they gonna reap their karma. So I'm really not worrying about if they ain't even already reaped it or whatever. You hear me? So, like I said, I had to deal with this. So they kind of like took me back. So I started back drinking. You know what I mean? After all that, I needed me a drink. I need a little drink. You know what I'm saying? So, Yeah, so I done got off in path again, y'all. Oh my God. What the world? So I really let the devil defeat me with that situation. Like, I wasn't resilient. I wasn't like, I just wasn't strong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to knock myself for it or whatever because, hey, it always another day. If you still here, you still got another chance, right? So this time though, this go around, I don't care what come my way. I'm pushing forward, y'all. Do you hear me? I'm pushing forward. Like, I'm really gonna live in my spirit. I'm celibate. I don't do no type of substance. I don't got time for nonsense. I'm not finna place myself among people, places, and things that I know that might astray me from my mission, because it's all about my journey of what I'm doing. I don't dislike nobody. I don't look down on people. I don't think I'm better than nobody. You do you, you do. I'm gonna do me because a lot of people is called, but only a few is chosen. And when you're chosen, we go through the most. But like I said, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to be a warrior this go round. And this just part 3, y'all. This is part 3. So if you haven't tapped in and tuned into 1 and 2, go catch up and tune in. And I appreciate everybody for listening and tuning into my spiritual journey. And it's many more to come. So stay tuned. Peace and blessing and positive vibes to you all.